What's up, folks? You're welcome to the review of Abattoir episode 5. It was a really loaded episode. Sincerely, I can almost not wait for episode 6, but as much as I'd like to see what happens at the end, it's like the episode should just keep coming every Sunday. Alright, let's talk about episode 5. For me, the hero of this episode is Mike-Bamiloye. His wife, played by Nikeowa, is given more of a voice here, having been more or less silent so far. Her role as the helpmate is put on display again. She encourages her husband when he's disturbed and takes the bull by the horns by leading prayers, talking to God about what is bothering them. The music, as always, is on point. There was a new tune used in that first scene and it was just appropriate. Holding on to the manipulative information given to him by Gbade, Martins is disillusioned in Mike-Bamiloye and everything he stands for, particularly God. I think that if only Martins had given this issue a little bit more thought, he would have discovered that there was something wrong about his handling of it. Was he being wise about it? The scriptures say that the wisdom from God is first of all pure, then peaceable. But Martins' approach in handling this issue is questionable. He shouts out the authority figures in his life, his pastor and Mike-Bamiloye, trying to burn his bridges behind him, not minding whose ox is God. For me, his disrespectful attitude towards Mike-Bamiloye is inexcusable. Everyone deserves their respect. Even Mr. Adebola listens to Dele respectfully, speaking of which all the scenes between Dele and his dad were very good. A highlight of this episode is the performance of Tolu Adeboyega as Flora. I learned she's the one who played Fumilola Obembe in The Train. That's awesome. She did very well here and was an outlet of humor, particularly her hilarious mantra.
We give maximum enjoyment and satisfaction. We give maximum satisfaction and enjoyment. We go give them maximum enjoyment and satisfaction.
We give maximum enjoyment and satisfaction. We give maximum satisfaction and enjoyment.
We? I don't like your pronoun.
She displays something remarkable in the scene where Gbade takes her to Martin's workplace. She, a daughter of Jezebel, knows her worth, and Gbade eventually bows to her mantra and apologizes. We, sons and daughters of the Most High God, must know our value in Jesus and live as such.
Walking in power, I'm walking miracle, I live a life of faith, 'cause I know who I am.
We still have to talk about Martins because he does a lot of things in this episode and a lot of things happen to him too. He blatantly states he's lost his faith in God. He is mean and tells the students to go to hell. Martins, why? You don't do that. You don't tell anyone, let alone a child, to go to hell. But you see, that is what happens when we don't deal with past pains or bitterness. Hurting people hurt other people when they don't allow themselves to be healed of the hurt. The movie embarks on quite a tough task of showing us how much Martins has declined. It seems as though everything happens within a day, but maybe it happens in a few days. So it's not really clear, or at least the portrayal of the timeline is not the smoothest. We'd ask questions about situations such as where 3 students were talking in the school compound when Martins was going for a class. Was it break time? Definitely not. Maybe they had a free period. It's unlikely that's a license to loiter in the school. Also, the fellowship was said to be after school. Was it holding when Dele came to meet Martins? That couldn't be because Dele reported the event of the fellowship to him. Now, Dele is the only one who seems to be getting through to Martins. I like the way this episode shows that they've had an existing relationship. Dele speaks to Martins as he would his father and respectfully asks a vital question.
If you are not standing, then what are you built on?
I think that's a question we'll all have to ask at one point in our lives or the other. The question of our foundations. Did we fully accept the message that Jesus saves when we believed? Have we actually received God's love, or it's only the fear of hell? Was our salvation genuine, or we only did it because it was fashionable? Did we really surrender all to Jesus? For Martins, he still held on to his hatred for his father rather than releasing it to Jesus to be healed, and see just how much damage it's causing. Imagine, the table was set, the harvest was ripe, but Martins didn't show up because he believed a misrepresentation of the truth that Gbade was the one who orchestrated every single thing that had happened to him, including his salvation. He went around with a chip on his shoulder, and that burden of resentment continued to be his to bear. His negative emotions directed the ship of his life, and that's why, like I said last week, that we must not allow our emotions to rule us, especially the negative ones. He missed out on what God had been building through him in that school. I think these things test our level because God prepares us for the heights he's taking us. I believe there's still hope for Martins, but take a look at what he has done with the little God has committed into his hands. Imagine if he had been invited for an international program or something, and then he decided not to show up for some reason. That would have been scandalous. So we have to be faithful with the little God has given us before he gives us greater tasks to do. I observed a bit of the spiritual battles that go on in this episode. Just when it seemed that Dele was getting through to Martins, just when Dele had asked him a question that he probably would struggle to answer, Flora walks in. And it's clear that Martins sees her coming as a way to escape the light of Christ that Dele was beaming on him. The devil created a false door of escape, an escape from the truth that would save him. I wondered to myself how many times we take such fake opportunities of escape when it's actually the devil trying to make us deviate from God's plans for our lives. Martins then becomes a motivational speaker of some kind. The children had been coming to him to listen to God through him, but once he disconnects from that God, he becomes an encourager with no real power to back up his words. One thing I love about gospel movies is that we tend to see ourselves and indeed others in these characters, and the expectation is that we'll learn from them and get better, growing in every way more and more like Christ. The last scene was the climax of episode 5. Just when it seems Flora has cornered Martins, Mike-Bamiloye shows up. I'm sure if we had been watching this at the cinema or at the Drama Ministers Power Night, there would have been a loud ovation. Chai, Mike-Bamiloye, see a real father. But Martins shocks everyone. It scared me that with evidence staring him in the face, he still doesn't know what God has just saved him from. How many times does God save us from danger that we do not even see? How many times does God create a way of escape that we sometimes don't take? And then Martins said,
I swear, I hate you.
oh, that was really bad. But then see Mike-Bamiloye, man, he is an awesome father. He said,
I love you, Martins.
Abattoir. No, that scene got me real bad. My feelings were all over the place and I didn't just know what to make of this episode. Every time I think about it, I just end up asking, but Martins, why? Alright, we've come to the end of the review of Abattoir episode 5. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? What scene touched you the most, or what scene broke your heart the most? Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. The link to the movie is in the description. The last episode of Abattoir Season 1 will be released on Sunday, August 9, 2020 at 12 p.m. on Damilola Mike-Bamiloye's YouTube channel. Once again, beware of fake episode 6 is already making the rounds on YouTube. The only place you get the authentic episodes is on the director's YouTube channel. Till next week when we'll be having our final review of Abattoir Season 1, stay blessed.